Can here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest for the week of January 29th, 2018. And I don't know about you, but I'm having trouble being me this week. So what does that mean? Well, it means that I'm auto-proxying still. So it was happening last week too. So I keep getting little bits of information. And I sometimes will end up with stuff that happens to me just so I can communicate it to you. So, I'll wake up in the middle of the night with intense itching for seemingly no reason. It's not like I ate a bunch of sugar or, something like that. And so I started testing, and in the middle of the night when I wake up itching, I'm not me. So when I test, for example, a yes and a no with divine muscle testing, I do get that's correct. A yes is a strong response, a no is a weak response. But then when I ask, my name is Karen Can, I get a no response. And last week it was I was Mother Earth, or I was the seventh dimension. That was one of them. But this week was kind of interesting. It seems to be kind of like out of the blue, just weird stuff. So I call that auto-proxying when suddenly I am connected to something else and processing their stuff. Now, lucky for me, I'm not really doing it physically, at least for the most part anymore, so that's good. But my energy body is still kind of busy doing that. So I had a big conversation with sources like, what is that going on? And last week, I think I might have mentioned that we need to balance our awareness. So sometimes as we grow in the different stages of the ascension cycle, we become more and more aware of a bigger and bigger whole, and our awareness of the now in this moment needs to also expand and evolve. So I asked you to check how balanced is your awareness of the now and the whole. Now we want that to be 100% balanced. The God team knows what I mean by that. So if you're not 100% balanced, you can just go ahead and ask, if they can balance it for you, or you can do a Topocan healing directive and say, I now command that my awareness of the now and of the whole be completely balanced and always possible. So we also put the intention that whether you are a starseed, indigo, hybrid, empath, sometimes we become more aware of our colleagues of the same tribe or type at the same time. So we put in that intention that your awareness of the now be balanced as well, related to all these other beings that you might be a part of. So that's part of it. So, but I thought, well, gee, I think I've got it. I'm going to stop auto-proxying, right? So I thought, okay, we got morphic fields that help us proxy just energetically, not physically. So that helps us a lot. And we got this balanced awareness, of the now and the whole. And I was thinking, well, what else is there, right? So this is what I got recently, was that within the awareness of the now, there's some more details that we're allowed to know about, or that I am to share with you. So your awareness of the now, ideally, is balanced among all the different parts of you, all the different bodies, your emotional body, your energetic body, your physical body, So you're aware of the now fully, optimally in the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, dimensional, etc. For myself, what I found was that the awareness of the now energetically was much, much stronger than the other bodies. So my energetic body was like, woo, doing overtime. So I thought to myself, okay, so we can actually balance our, now, our awareness of the now within the now. Not forget about the whole. We did that, okay? So we're not paying attention to the whole as much, but still within the now, there is still some, increased energetic, in my case, energetic awareness. So today I asked, well, what about that? Like, what is it? What is my energy body actually doing in the awareness of the now? And what was fascinating, it was like there were 8 things. There were 8 components. Because I asked, of course, I had to write it down. Okay, how many different qualities of the energetic awareness of the now are there? And I got, for me, the main issue was something that I call reading. Now, reading means a better word for that is evaluating. So my energy body is overly busy evaluating. Well, that doesn't surprise you, right? Do this for a living, right? So that's only one of the 8 components of the energy body's awareness of the now. Okay, these are the other ones. They tend to be receptive things as actions as opposed to projective actions like healing and things like that. So we got number 1. Now, this is not in any particular order. So this is just the order I got it in. So number 1 was our energetic awareness in the now can be evaluating. Mine is overly busy doing that. Number 2, absorbing. Okay, so the energy body can be absorbing things, which could be good, in certain instances. Number 3, translating. That sounds pretty interesting as well. Translating sounds like information. Number 4, communicating. That makes sense as well. Our energy bodies do that. Number 5, perceiving, which is different from evaluating. Think about it. Think about the word. It's probably better to say evaluating than reading. Like if you do a read on somebody, it's the same as evaluating. Perceiving is a little different. Okay. So number 6, organizing. When I was asking about this, I kept seeing these like shells and boxes, like kind of, like organizing. So that part of the energy body is organizing the information from the now, energetic information, and then prioritizing. And I thought that was interesting. That made a lot of sense to me. Yeah. What information is priority? And the last one is storing information. So then I asked, okay, so is this part of our energetic anatomy? And I got yes, but it wasn't any of the usual that we talk about, like the chakras or the hara line, the aura itself. But where this was the outermost border of the outermost layer of our auric field. So we have many, many different layers of our aura. The outermost part of the outer auric layer is where this energetic anatomy resides in the awareness of the now. So how does that help you? Well, you can actually ask, how balanced is my awareness of the now within all the different bodies that I have, and you want that to be 100% balanced. Now, you don't need to know what percentage is what, does your mental body need to have 20%, an energetic body 50%, whatever, it is whatever is balanced for you. That's what we're asking the guide team to give us those answers, okay? And then if you get that it's not balanced, you might need to know, like in my case, is there a particular body, like is it the energetic body, mental body, whatever, that is particularly not balanced in the awareness of now? In my case, it was the energetic body. And in my case, out of those 8 different things, it was the evaluating that was not balanced. That was like way, 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 too active. So I got that I was 50% balanced in my energetic body of the awareness of the now, or you can say the energetic awareness of the now, as opposed to the mental awareness of the now or the physical awareness of the now. My energetic awareness of the now was 50% balanced. So then I just asked the God team, do I need to know more to balance it out? And I got no. So we asked the God team to go ahead and rebalance that in myself. So it's much more balanced now. So at the moment, I'm not proxying for anyone else. So I want to see if that helps you. Let me know if that helps you. I know it's a little bit complicated. Not that it has to be, but just see if you can get the gist of it. I think that's more than enough information. But I think some of us, I got that there's a small percentage of us where it is. You may need to know that information, and the rest of us, no, you just command your awareness of the now and the whole completely balanced, and you're good to go. You're not struggling with being somebody else energetically. Now, speaking of proxying, the other brain imbalance that has been happening the last couple of weeks is being reversed. So reversed is meaning that your nervous system's running kind of like backwards. So that's usually a very severe stress sign that can happen with concussions and things like that. But it's happening to you off and on, and then all of a sudden you can't muscle test, because when you test a yes, you get a weak response, and when you test a no, you get a strong response. So it's very frustrating because you can't really reliably muscle test when you're reversed. So when you're reversed and you get these opposite answers, I'm going to give you a really quick cure, okay, for that, or at least in that moment, a quick cure, so then you can muscle test why you have it and then fix the underlying reason. So this is I call it the polarity tapping exercise. I learned this from Dr. Dean Clark, who I met through LifeWave. He's actually a chiropractor, and we have several radio shows we did together. And this is really, really quick chakra tapping polarity tapping exercise. So if you're backwards, you can do this and it should correct you within seconds. Okay, so we also taught this at the Holistic Health Conference in, I believe, in 2015. So I'm going to show it to you now. So what you want to do, I'm going to stand up and you'll still be able to hear me, but what you want to do is you want to take one hand and you want to tap right over your belly button. Hopefully my computer won't fall down when I tip it here. Yeah, so you're going to tap right over your belly button. Okay, now the other hand, what you're going to do is, now you can do your second chakra if you want, which is lower belly, but it's hard to see on the TV. So Dr. Dean recommends you go ahead and now you're tapping two places, in the middle of your stomach, which is your third chakra, and your belly button. So you're tapping that about 8 times or so. And then you're going to keep the same one at the very, very beginning at your belly button. Okay, this guy down here. So down here. So you're going to keep tapping that, and you're going to tap your fourth chakra right now at the same time. And then once you've done that 8 times, you're going to go ahead and tap both your belly button and your throat chakra. Okay, be gentle here. Firm but gentle. You don't want to hurt yourself. Okay, and then you're going to keep tapping your belly button, and you're going to go ahead and tap your sixth chakra, which is over your brow. And then over the top of your head, right there. Get it in the camera. Yeah, and then you just do that, and then retest, and unless you're dehydrated or something like that, more time than not, you will correct your polarity. So a yes will be a strong response in your muscle testing or sway test or pendulum, and a no will be a weak response like you normally, and then you can go ahead and test. Now, you can have correct polarity, but still be somebody else, okay? That's proxying that we talked about before. So when I'm proxying from Mother Earth, I might get a yes as a yes, a no as a no. But when I say my name is Karen Can, I get a no. When I say my name is Mother Earth, I get a yes. Okay, that's proxying. So 2 different things here. So I've given you one tool for, checking if you're auto-proxying for someone. It could be this awareness, that it's out of balance of the now, or awareness of the whole in the now. And then this other thing is, if you're backwards because of a stress response and you can't muscle test, you can go ahead and do the polarity tapping and correct your ability to muscle test in that moment. Okay, and then you can test using the Topican healing guides or whatever tools that you have, like using the Topican healing guides, for example, and you can see why, if you need to know why, you're reversed, etc., etc. Okay, so a couple of announcements. If you missed the half-hour show that I did with Christy, that interview, it's on the Akashic Academy. It's also on Christy's page, also on the Light Warrior Network page, posted up the recording of the Facebook Live interview, and where we talked about the 4 stages of ascension. And currently we're in the ascension rising cycle. The expansion was like, poof, up like that, and then the rising cycle is now, and our abilities, interestingly, to investigate or to read energy do actually go up during the rising phase of the ascension cycle, which I may not have mentioned, but that happens as well as our ability to send energy. So the second thing is that From Heartache to Joy has asked me to send out alerts to everybody to register for Series 16. Even if you're already on their mailing list, they want you to register new for the series. They kind of keep track of, who is registering new, and they want me to keep track through my link. So I've actually put my link, which is karencan.com/FHTJ, all one word, FHTJ. And you can go ahead, and even if you've already, been part of their email list, go ahead and re-register. They want that every time. Re-register for the new series so they can track it. And so thank you in advance for that. Monday, we have the radio show, the LifeWave Ask the Doctor radio show with Dr. Dennis and I. And I've asked Dr. Dennis to actually teach us what point-and-point combinations we can use with the LifeWave patches to help with our ability to be peaceful and be in stillness. How many times do we hear that we should meditate? How many times do we hear that we need to be in stillness in order to get those intuitive hits, or to get the healing, to receive the healing? So we're going to ask for some help on how we can get into this state a little easier using some of the phototherapy patches. So I'm excited to talk to Dr. Dennis on Monday about that at 12 noon. So check that out. If you're on our mailing list, we'll send you the link in the email. And you can also go to the Blog Talk Radio page on Blog Talk Radio, the Dr. Karen one. And the last announcement is that For those that are interested in some of my From Heartache to Joy interviews, normally once the replay is up for a week, then it's not available anymore, and they have replays of the current speakers going on. We've gotten permission from Heartache to Joy to be able to post these interviews, these free interviews for you on the blog. Now you can't download them, but you can definitely listen to them. So Jacob, one of my new assistants, has been writing up these blogs with summaries for you guys. Yes, isn't that awesome? Thank you, Jacob. So he's been posting them regularly on the blog, so you can check it out on karencan.com/blog. And you'll notice which ones have From Heartache to Joy on it. If you click on those blog posts, they'll have a little summary of the actual interview, what's in the interview, and you'll be able to listen to the whole 90-minute interview free. Right there on the blog page. So that's pretty exciting. The other exciting news I have too is Claudia is a first-year medical student, and she's connected with me. She's very empathic and sensitive soul, and I wish her all the best. And she asked, is there some way we can collaborate? And I thought, wouldn't it be great if she could actually summarize some of my trainings and articles into articles? So she is doing that for us. So recently she and Jacob's helping us put on the blog because she doesn't do the whole online stuff. So she helps me write the articles. So she'll listen to some of my trainings. She'll actually write up, what's going on in the trainings, like a summary. And then Jacob will help us post it on there. So if you haven't seen it already in karencan.com, in the blog, you'll see one that she did for one of the 2-hour classes I did on how to get better sleep. So some of this is holistic health training, includes some of my doctor hat information, not just the spiritual healing stuff. So check out some of those. She'll be doing those periodically over the weeks and months. Also for the patchtrainingteam.com website, for the LifeWave website that I have, the initial interviews that I did 4 years ago do not have blog articles associated with all the notes and the links to the acupuncture points. So what she's going to do is she's going to go back in time. She's going to write a summary of those articles and post those up in the blog. And so we'll have Jacob repost those with the actual link to the radio show, so you can both listen to the show again and get the notes. Yeah, a lot of people like the notes. So I only started doing the notes recently, and yeah, it's pretty time consuming. But Claudia's going to go back in time and do some of the ones that I did not do. So look out for those in the next coming month as well. So have a wonderful week. Stay brain balanced. Stay yourself. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye for now. And remember to join me on the Light Warrior Network, because we want to grow that network to 5,000 people by 2020. That's my goal. And so spread the good news.